The bliss of the abyss, it's here now.
I'm not feeling very entertaining, which is a great way to start off a podcast. So I might
That's
cut
the best opening line. Fantastic opening line. I'm not feeling very entertaining, and welcome to the bliss of the abyss.
that. Listen, as the host, my job is to make sure that you are entertaining, not that I'm entertaining. I'm a facilitator. Yeah.
Right. Well, I hope you've had your morning coffee, mate.
I'm on my fourth, and to be honest, it's not touching the sides. But for some reason, I've put it in this heat-proof mug situation. But it's actually very hot here, so I'm not able to drink it.
That's right. You guys are having a heat wave right now, aren't you?
Yeah, we're kind of out of one, and we're about to go into another one, but it's still very warm. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. This country was completely built for heat waves, so luckily it just all works. It's not like you just sit there sweating your bollocks off.
I remember very well what it's like.
Oh my God, your last place you were at was crazy for the heat, man. When it was wrong, it was just wrong.
Yep. I'm pretty sure we were in a stable. I'm pretty sure that was built to house horses or
it was not for human habitation.
No, some other heat-proof animal.
The amount of different ways you had to try and combat the moisture levels were, it was always like you were trying out a new thing. And when you moved, because you lived here for a bit, you left this big bag of these like filters.
Yeah, the dehumidifiers, yeah.
Dehumidifier, exactly. I was like, what the fuck am I going to do with these? I kept them for a while, being like, I shouldn't throw them away. And then I was like, but I don't have a humidity problem. Why am I keeping them?
It's a memento, mate.
Yeah. How else am I going to remember
our relationship?
Together?
Sucking all the moisture out of a room. That's just us in a nutshell.
But it was still somehow very moist at all times.
Yes, at all times. The walls were wet. I prevented mold from growing as quickly on our clothing because we tended to put them in cupboards because that's where the problems were worse, in the dark and the damp.
I was thinking about mold today, weirdly, because we repainted the bathroom, and in repainting the bathroom, there's a little corner where the bath is tiled that kind of like sunk a bit. But there's no way to get underneath it and push it back up without ripping out all the tiles.
Yeah.
So I just kind of put like a bunch of caulk in there, and I was like, that'll do. But obviously water pools and mold grows.
It does.
But mold spray is genuinely a product that just fucking works. There's so few things that actually work. How many things you buy off the internet and you're like, wow, it's really going to make my life different. And then 2 minutes later, you're like, this doesn't actually do anything. Like I'm getting
just bleach.
It's not just bleach, right? Isn't it a fungicide of some kind? Bleach.
Isn't it hypochlorite? I'm pretty sure maybe that's just the stuff I buy. Oh, we've already started Googling.
Maybe the stuff you buy is, you're a tough guy. So maybe you use real tough guy stuff. But I think mold spray is 10 best mold sprays in the UK.
I'm such a tough guy in my rubber gloves with my spray and my rag. That's what I've been doing for the last fortnight, is cleaning our old house because we've just moved.
You've just moved, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, and I've gone through so many different types of sprays, and it aggravates me no end when I buy something for a specific job, try it, and then it doesn't work, and then I go to something I already had and it works perfectly, and I'm like, well, why
didn't I?
Why did you not just predict that I would already have that, Google, when I asked you?
I was we had a problem with foxes for a little while, and I looked on the internet, and they were like, if you just spray citric acid or vinegar in various places, it kind of keeps them away. And I was like, okay, great. And so I was doing it, and it seemed to work. And then Caitlin was like, I bought this fox spray off Amazon. I was like, okay, well, we didn't need that, but great. It's £12 a bottle. I'm sure that's money well spent. It arrives. I look at the ingredients. It's fucking citric acid. That's all it is. That's all it fucking is.
But now you can use it for cocktails, right? Use it to zhuzh up a dish, salt, fat, acid, heat. Salt, fat, fox spray heat.
You imagine if you actually you made someone a cocktail, and you know how they like get the foam and they do it in front of you? Imagine
Yeah.
instead of that, you just shook up your fox spray and put it in their
Walk
drink.
out in a hazmat suit.
Common ingredients in mold sprays: fungicides. That's not bleach.
Fungicide.
In fact, I reckon bleach wouldn't even work on mold.
You don't reckon? I've been doing it wrong then.
Does bleach work on mold? I mean, not only are we trusting AI, as everyone seems to, bleach can kill mold on non-porous surfaces.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's not
Bathtubs,
effective
tiles.
on porous materials, mate. So
that makes sense.
Such as
I
dry.
don't have a lot of porous surfaces around me, Rob. Not ones that grow mold.
What's the housing stock in Australia mainly? Is it more American style or UK style? What's the vibe?
I would say it's probably more American style. I'm not sure though. It's because
Like,
it's hot weather housing,
so there's a
so
lot of
it's a lot of
wood paneling stuff.
yeah, and it depends on the era as well, because there's elements of like Australian architecture that are quintessential like 70s style of housing or whatever that you'll find around. But it's very much just brick and white paint. You can see the wall behind me, that's painted brick, I imagine. I haven't knocked through and tried to see what it's made of, but I imagine it's just painted plastered brick.
Yeah. Because a lot of stuff in America is made a bit cheaper. There's a lot more like drywall and plasterboard and wood slats as opposed to like brick and concrete and stuff like that.
We're big on solid stuff here, especially up in the places that get a lot of cyclones and stuff like that. You can't build out of cheap material there. There's probably laws against it, I would imagine.
Or that would be like the northeast, right? That wouldn't be anywhere near you guys.
No, northwest as well. Big cyclone
really?
area.
Through the Indian Ocean, I suppose.
Yeah. So just directly north of Perth. The further north you go, the more likely you are to get blown away.
What's the
at certain parts of the year?
What's the chances of a cyclone hitting you? Not right now, but in general.
It's never zero, is it? No matter where you are in the world, it's never a 0% chance that you will be hit by a cyclone.
No, I think it's a 0% chance where I am. They don't happen in where I am. They never have, and they never will.
You know what? They almost certainly have, just not within the lifespan of our species. But they almost certainly will again as well. Again, probably not within the lifespan.
I think the temperature on the surface of the ocean has to be 25 degrees C. Fact, because I've taught geography a lot. There's no way that's going to happen. There's no way that's going to happen around the UK.
Probably not.
Hold on, unless are you talking about epochs, sort of in the Quaternary era around 2.5 billion years ago, maybe? Is that what you're saying?
When did we switch to Star Wars, mate? Yes, I was referring to epochs. That was a silly pun. I was referring to in an epotistical sense. That's not the right word. It will happen, but probably not within our lifetime. No. Here in Perth, I don't think we get many cyclones that actually hit. We do get a lot of like tropical storms that have come down from a just downgraded cyclone. And we do get big storms. We had one about a month ago. Actually, it was a month ago because it was just after we'd been told we had to move house. We went down south for a weekend away, and we spent the entire time inside getting buffeted by we didn't get buffeted by winds, but everything else did. And that was just, a big storm, not a cyclone.
Someone spoiled the holiday. I mean,
no, not really. We just watched movies, Nate. Jeez, it's fantastic.
That sounds even better, actually. Because I mean, a tropical storm is just one. It's just one level down, isn't it? I mean, it's still incredibly strong. There have been cyclones that affected Perth, Western Australia. Ned, of course, they called it Ned. Is the most southerly landing tropical cyclone recorded in Australia. Only storm ever to directly affect Perth City at cyclone strength.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Hold on, Cyclone Albie in 78. Are all of your cyclones named after just classic Aussie names?
I would imagine so. Yeah. What else are you going to call them?
Cyclone Albie. I don't know.
Cyclone Kirikawa.
Yeah, Cyclone.
Cyclone
Mate.
Sven.
Cyclone Old
Cyclone
Mate.
Mac. Old mate. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Cyclone Sheila.
Yeah.
Cyclone Gaza.
I mean, they wouldn't be called cyclones in the UK because they're called. I think it would be hurricane. Right, you got cyclones, typhoons, and hurricanes. They're exactly the same thing, but depending on which ocean they occur in.
I mean, that's beyond my knowledge, mate.
Well, I mean, I get, I'm
no
really
idea.
point scoring you on this. Clearly,
You are.
I've set you up clearly because this is a topic that I actually know quite a lot
Yeah,
about,
rigged.
and I'm now
This
just
entire interview.
flexing. The UK does not experience hurricanes because the waters are too cold to sustain them. Too cold to. The most notable example is the Great Storm of '87, 2 years after I was born. Winds gusting over 100 miles an hour. Boom. What do you feel about when they call things great, but they don't mean good? They just mean large.
I mean, it's a bit mean, poor Catherine. She seemed like a nice lady, but I don't have a particularly strong feeling either way, Robot.
Fair enough.
I think it's one of those words where you do kind of give it a kind of a mental double take where you hear like, oh, it was the Great Storm or the Great War, and you go, oh yeah, of course, the other meaning of
the other meaning.
Great.
Yeah. How great was it? Yeah, it was great. Great?
Yeah.
Or great? If you were going to be a king, and you will be one day,
some would argue I already am.
What would your... Oh, I wish I knew what this was, but I'll just say title. What would your title be? So you said obviously Catherine was the Great. You've got Ivan the Terrible. You've got Vlad the Impaler. These are just a few classics. There's one from English history called, I can't remember his first name, but he's somebody the Old, which just feels really unfair.
Yeah.
You're just
he inherited when he was already like on death's door.
I don't think he was even that old. I just think people were a bit like, this guy gives off that energy, you know?
Maybe it's the other meaning of the word old. You know, that second lesser used.
Old. Yeah.
What would my not title, but it's got to be some sort of nickname, right? I would.
It's got to be
I'm
Thomas.
Gonna be.
You can't be Tom. That's not.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Thomas the Adequate.
Thomas the Adequate.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what
there's not high hopes for me becoming king, but if I am a king, I would hope to at least be adequate.
I wonder, do you get to choose? Because do you remember in school when like some kid would try and pick their own nickname, and it's like it doesn't work that way. Like nicknames get chosen for you. And in fact, if you try and pick your own nickname, the likelihood is you'll probably get a nickname you don't like foisted upon you.
Yeah, because the next thing that's going to happen is someone's going to go, you can't do that. That for some reason that's wrong. And so now you're getting the next nickname that is pertinent to you.
Yeah,
you're not going to wait for a good one to pop up. You're going to be Charlie Nose Pickering for the rest of your life.
But I wonder if it works like that for kings. And actually thinking about it, I don't think any modern monarchs have. Like, we've got King Charles II in the UK right now. He's not Charles the anything other than. Do you know what I mean? He's not Charles the.
What's he done?
Don't
you have to do something?
He killed Diana. Sorry.
I can say that. What do they? I mean, they can't get me here in Perth, can they? They can't get people in Perth if someone
you've got a British passport, don't you? You've got a British passport. You've got a British passport. They can rip you up, man. Make you stateless.
I'm referring to the lady who passed away from a car crash, who was linked to, I believe it was one of the princes who was accused of some things. She lived in Perth and she died of like.
Whoa! This is a story I don't know about. What is this?
Really?
Yeah. What's the story?
So I can't remember what his name is. The prince that was accused of being linked with Epstein.
Andrew.
Yeah. So probably him. If I'm remembering.
Probably. Yeah. Let's be real.
I don't pay attention to these things. I believe one of the women who made accusations was a Perth resident at the time of her death. I believe. when we first got back here and I was still paying attention to British things, I thought I saw that on a news feed somewhere. Again, I didn't click the link. I just stored it away for, conversation later.
Was there? Well, and here we are. Virginia Giuffre was Australian. Maybe it was her.
Possibly, yeah, possibly.
She the most famous one, I suppose. Was there a period of time then when you were sort of like still, like consuming UK news, and then after a while,
Oh yeah.
What am I fucking doing? I don't give a fuck anymore. What is this?
Yeah.
You know
Well, I mean, I never really consume Australian news because it's too close to home for me. So I'll get a bit worked up about things that annoy me. Whereas if I consume UK, like British or American news or news from anywhere, I'd consume it from other countries that just don't speak those languages. I can consume it without it bothering me because I feel disconnected from it.
Right.
Even when I lived in the UK, I was just like, I've always gotten out. So whatever happens in that country is, I can be half a world away in a day's notice. But yeah, no, Australian politics and Australian news just kind of aggravates me because I feel too attached to it.
You're affected by it.
Hurts my feelings.
You got some kind of new MAGA type person out there, don't you? A woman, right?
I don't think she's new. She's been around for my entire life, as far as I can remember. Pauline Hanson, I think you're referring to.
Yes, that is who I'm referring to. I guess she's recently got more media coverage over here, and I'm trying to think why. Is it just because she's a loudmouth, or is she gaining popularity? What's the deal?
She's gaining popularity, or rather, the major central political parties are losing the votes that they would typically.
Okay, it's the same thing.
Just have in the bag.
It's
decentralizing politics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, when you decentralize from two major centrist parties, one that is mildly left and one that's mildly right, you get decentralization towards extremes, I imagine. So
that's what's happening everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, but who knows if that's just talk or if it's because we've got lots of our media over here is owned by Murdoch. So
good guy.
We don't know we don't know what is and isn't actually the case and what is being pumped up. There's some cool apps now that give you like neutral news, or that give you like a look into the inherent biases of certain news channels and where they swing. Yeah, I've not. I've just seen the ads.
No, I think that the problem with them is they are cool. They're cool ideas, but the problem is that a lot of the time, the sources they use, it's like you'd really sort of hope, like say there's a news story and you look for like Ground News is one of these. It like shows you the story and it shows you how covered it is by left-wing media, how covered it is by right-wing, what the bias is on either side is saying. But you go into the sources and it's not like sort of like the New York Times, the Guardian, the BBC. It doesn't have like, it tends to source from like much more small, like niche publications, which kind of you kind of think I'd like to know what the big players are saying about it. Yeah, sure the small players as well, but I feel like you should, if you're going to really say how this coverage is being presented, you should present what the big mainstream people are saying about it as well.
Yeah, I don't see what the point to be otherwise. Because like, who cares what some niche publication that 100,000 people in the world read or watch? Like, who cares? That's okay, cool.
Yeah,
There's plenty of people who read the local newspaper here. It's not swinging votes, at least not at a global level. Yeah.
Is Perth a liberal place or is it fashy?
Perth has had the Labour Party, which is our centre-left party, has had them elected at a national level, I believe, for a very long time. I couldn't quote you actual numbers, but it's kind of like because so much of the state is sparsely populated and Perth is by comparison so densely populated and so many of the seats here go that way. It's kind of an in the bag scenario where they just keep getting re-elected, and the only competing parties, which I believe the National and the Liberal Party, which are the two other more conservative parties, they don't really get a look in because they don't get enough votes in Perth, I believe. Again, I try and pay as little attention to this stuff as possible
I
because
brought you on as an Australian politics expert.
I was going to say, I know nothing about, I don't even know if we have a democracy or a dictatorship, or I don't have
You don't
no
know if the
clue.
houses are made of brick. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing over there?
Pretty much just chilling.
Yeah, good. That sounds good. How's the new place? Be honest. Be 100% honest. Is it better than the old place?
Yeah, heaps
Why?
better. It's bigger, it's nicer, it's in a better location, it's quieter during the day. So working from home, I'm not constantly having to wear noise cancelling headphones just to block out the sirens and the screams.
Yeah, because you lived in the Compton of Perth before that.
Oh, the screams are coming from inside the house, but I still
Right.
hear them
The
all the
screams are
time.
coming from my own mouth.
It's much nicer. It was one of those kind of semi-fortuitous things where we were told this was like potentially going to happen, but unlikely to happen because the people, and this is all hearsay, of course, but the people who owned our old place were possibly going to liquidate that asset because they might need that money for insert whatever their financial advisor had told them.
Sure.
And so we were told that we signed a 6-month lease instead of a 12-month extension. And we were told, it's not likely to happen, but if it does, 6 months. And we kind of went, well, I mean, it's enough likely to happen that you've changed the lease.
Yeah.
So we but there was nothing that we could do because it's not like you can start looking because things move so fast here that there's just no point. We were told that they weren't renewing the lease right before we went down south to have a weekend away with that massive storm. So we spent the entire weekend inside eating cheese, watching movies, and just weeping into our Brie. No, we came back from that and we met literally that evening. The evening we returned, we started looking at places to rent. And then I viewed a bunch that following week. We viewed a bunch on the Saturday. We applied for one on Sunday, about 2 p.m. We were accepted before midday on Monday. And we got the keys on Friday, moved in on the Saturday. It was insanely fast. It was such a quick turnaround that we had a little bit of whiplash of being like, okay, we live here now. But I kept going back to the old place to clean and to, move more stuff because we'd only moved essentials over to start with and big stuff because we had to rent a truck. But I kept going back and forth. So like I was at the old place almost every day for the last, fortnight. Just slowly saying goodbye. No, just cleaning the damn thing. It's cleaner now than when we moved in. I scrubbed it.
Because they're gonna try and get you for the deposit. You just know it. So you've got to be as honest.
That's the assumption.
Yeah, it's the assumption. Yeah. It's always the case. I've only once had a landlord that didn't try at least something. I'm interested because we've just done some like spring cleaning. We've cleared out like boxes and boxes of stuff that was just hanging around and thrown it away. But we've been here for like over 10 years now, whereas you'd only been in your new place for what, a year, something like that?
Year and a half, yeah.
Was there still like quite a lot of stuff that you were like, we're going to actually chuck this out, we're not even keeping this? How quickly did you accumulate clutter?
We threw several things out that we had kept and meant to throw out the first time we'd moved. But when we moved the first time, we moved in really, really soon after, I think it was after Christmas. And then we just kind of were cooked. We were just done. We were, no, okay, that we've done it now. We're in the place. We're not going to continue doing organizational stuff. We're going to move on to the next thing. Because there was other stuff going on. You move countries and get new jobs and blah, blah, blah. Yep. There's always something else going on. But that was it. Yeah, we don't really accumulate a lot of clutter. There was like a printer that was brand new and had never been used. And we were just like, do people use printers still? Is this a thing? It's like, but yeah, that was it really. There's not much. We don't like accumulating a lot of stuff, especially since having traveled and moved countries. We're just like, well, if it's not something that we need to have, is it really worth buying? Although I imagine that'll change as we've got more appliances now. Got more stuff to cook in.
Oh yeah.
That's about it. Yeah.
Well, you're quite big into cooking. I guess you've got more space than you had over here.
Yeah.
So
Heaps more.
yeah, bastard.
It's good. It is very nice. And yes, I remember your kitchen, and you've got quite a lot of stuff. You've actually probably got more stuff than we do. It's just you're fitting it in a small place.
I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's overloaded. Listen, I've got a printer over there that's 20 years old, but it still works.
Some of the old ones are very good like that. It's just finding ink for them that's a problem.
Yeah, there's a booming knockoff ink economy on
Yeah.
eBay. So
Yeah.
I'm just using, I don't know why. Like, I don't know why they still make them for this ancient piece of hardware here.
Because they're still going.
They're still going.
Yeah. That's all it'll be. There's a market for it because people bought them when they were new and they never had to replace them, and so there's always a demand.
I don't know if this is true or if it's apocryphal, but apparently the first light bulb ever made is still going because they made it to actually like work, and then do they call it planned obsolescence? Like they've shitification is I guess the modern term, made them work so that they break so that you have to buy them.
Yeah, that's the like pessimistic take on manufactured obsolescence, or what was the term you used?
Enshittification.
Yeah, enshittification. Yeah, I think that's the pessimistic way of thinking. Like a company is it purposefully making this thing so it will break in a set time frame, and then you'll have to replace it. And by that point, the market will have moved on, and they'll be able to charge more, and there'll be But I don't know that there's. I think technology moves so quickly now that a lot of that stuff is just like by the time a thing breaks, or by the time you know look at the new things, they're just going to be so much better in some ways, not in every way. I mean, how good can a kitchen knife get?
Well, yeah.
But, but with stuff like with more high-tech technology, then I've spent the entire day trying to get my laptop to work again because I tried to optimize some settings and crashed the graphics card. And it's just like, I'm trying to eke out the last little bit of usability from a device that was secondhand when I bought it more than 10 years ago. And I'm just like, they don't make support. They don't update the software anymore. There's no support system. It's not live. I'm downloading drivers that are like, even the download files have dust on them. It comes out the vents of my computer when I download a graphics card driver.
Have you tried the compressed air thing? Taking it open and spray it. It's probably got a load of fluff in it. Sometimes that can help.
I'm afraid of what would come out, Rob. I'm terrified.
I'm not saying spray it and put your mouth the other side and swallow the. But honestly, it does make a bit. In fact, I wonder when the last time I did it to mine was, because mine is similarly very old and bought secondhand.
I'm sure it works perfectly. The problem is that I would have to contend with the little voice in my head that says, "Are you buying air? You know that's free all around you, right?
It's compressed.
You want to just blow. Just blow hard."
Are you saying, hold on? Well, then why buy a vacuum cleaner? Why not just suck hard, or like you already do?
No comment. I don't have to tell you why I don't do that, Rob.
Compressed air is a thing. Look, it's not like the Fox spray, which is just citric acid. Okay, it's actually a thing.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just squeeze a lime? Like you've got
could.
limes, don't you? Yeah.
Well, currently, I think I've got a lime. Why? Suspicious question. Oh man. By the way, I looked it up. The first light bulb ever made is not still glowing. That's not true.
It did seem a bit too good to be true, given that I'm pretty sure light bulbs burn out because the thinness of the filament required in order for the electricity passing to it to elevate the electrons.
So you are an expert on something, huh? You might not know about hurricanes, but you know about filament.
This could all be BS. I'm literally just remembering this from like a grade 11 explanation of how light bulbs work. I'm pretty sure they're thin enough that when the electricity passes through them, it elevates something and shoots out packets of energy that are in visible light spectrum. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
If you said quarks or neutrons or something, I'd have believed.
Yeah, but I would know that I was BSing. I'm at least having a sincere shot at explaining this thing that I do not understand, but I'll still pretend that I do.
I think you're right, personally, from my limited knowledge.
And that's how science works. Two people get together and they agree that their opinion is one of them is correct.
Quick quiz. The Centennial light in Livermore, California. Guess how long it's been burning? It's a historical light bulb. Guess how long it's been going?
I mean, centennial, so presumably...
It is a shame it's called that. It is a shame.
Yeah, presumably 100 years or more.
I want
century is 100, right? Oh, you want to exact? Okay. 103 years, 54 days, 62 hours, and 12 million seconds.
I don't know why I didn't expect a British answer. Of course it was going to be 120 years.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean...
Yeah.
It's a light bulb, but I don't know how much competition it's got.
Yeah, also, who gives a fuck is probably a really important question at this point.
Oh, come on. This light bulb thing is the most interesting thing we've discussed so far on this podcast.
Well, you said weeping into our Brie early on. I think that was maybe better than the light bulbs. There's been mold. We've talked about mold. Don't
we have
that.
True. Fungus are actually the dominant species on the planet, I believe. I believe that is scientific.
I agree with you. That is science. Is it not insects, really?
I don't know, mate. I'm not on that part of the internet.
What does that mean?
I imagine it's either insects or fungi. I think what I'm referring to is that the biggest, the largest biomass is fungi. Yeah, I think so. Or the largest single organism, perhaps, is what I'm referring to. I'm not sure. I'm never sure what I'm talking about.
You're right, though. Fungi.
Oh, is it? Excellent.
Greater total biomass than insects on Earth, about 2% of the planet's total biomass.
That's fantastic. That's just reinforced my confirmation bias so well that when I say a thing, it's going to be true because in the past it has been, which is just what my ego needs is confirmation I don't think it's a good thing. Complete garbage and it will occasionally be right. And often enough that I can feed on it like a succubus or a fungi or an insect.
Yeah. Indeed, yeah. You are a very confident person when you talk, actually, and it's often just complete bollocks. So it's one of those things,
isn't it?
Well, when I first got to know you, I was like, wow, this guy knows like lots about lots. But then the more I know you, the more you're just confident when you're saying it. That doesn't mean it's true.
I have the Jeff Winger from Community approach to conversation in life, which is that if I just keep talking long enough, eventually people will just agree to get me to shut up. No, I do speak very confidently, but that was more of a fake it till you make it thing that I started doing when I was younger, and then it worked so well that again I confirmation biased myself into it's just positive reinforcement, isn't it? I just reinforced that. Yeah, I was like, if you pretend that you are, it's like smile and the whole world smiles with you. It doesn't. There's still war and famine and disease. But if you smile, at least they think you're a nut job and they leave you the fuck alone. Walking through a war zone or a field of corpses grinning your head off, no one's taking a pot shot at that guy, are they? Because if you miss, he's going to come over and chew on your neck.
Yeah.
Just whistling a tune as you dance between the limbs.
That is poetry, my friend.
Oh, thanks. It's not weeping into Brie, but it's not.
No, it might be as good. It depends. I think my premium protection has expired.
Uh-oh. Cue the malware. Now you've got to have that awful back and forth with yourself where you go, is it actually, how at risk of viruses am I?
I don't think I ever had premium protection because I definitely haven't given them any fucking money. So
you know what that is? That's malware hiding itself in your system as, anti-malware software. or whatever that stuff's called.
How serious?
Antivirus.
How serious a problem are computer viruses for your everyday punter? I feel like it doesn't. I mean, I remember I had a computer in university that I had to completely redo everything, start again.
Yeah.
It got a really bad virus, but I feel like nowadays it's quite rare that the even the free stuff seems to catch. When was the last time you had like some really bad virus on your computer?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you. It was
Yeah,
so long
exactly.
ago. I think the thing is that encryption and the kind of each end of the software is so well made now
Yeah,
that in order to actually get access to anything, you kind of have to be attacking different systems. But I also think there's an element of like if you're going to go into business scamming people, just start a legitimate company and data mine. Like,
right,
just take their
right.
data and sell it to someone with an algorithm who can tell them to buy more corduroy or whatever.
Because that's
Because,
both legal and as
yeah,
likely to be as effective.
completely above board.
Yeah,
No one is going to do anything about it. It's just data. So no one feels that attached to it and no one sees it as the invasion of privacy that it is.
yeah,
And I think the average person probably doesn't have a firm enough grasp on the interrelationship between algorithmic interactions and just the conditioning of being like, I wake up, I look at my phone, a thing pops up, I click the thing, I see this thing, my attention goes here, I do this, I do that. I'm just, going
yeah,
about my day, having fun, not realizing that each and every time you make a choice, that piece of information can then be used to curate your next choice and funnel you in a particular direction,
yeah,
which is like it's almost sounds like a conspiracy theory because it's so sci-fi, like futuristic. What do they call that? Not cyberpunk. When you dystopian.
yeah,
When you have like, there's computers that are learning you and the choices you make and the things that sway you, and it's not going to take over your life. It doesn't want to take over your life. It just wants to take more and more and more of your money. It actually wants to be altruistic. It wants to give you exactly what you want. It wants to figure out what you want and give it to you. Because
yeah.
nothing bad ever happens when people got everything they ever wanted. Dancing through a field of limbs, Rob.
Exactly.
Smiling, whistling a tune.
I mean, number one, I think you're right, but also I think at this point, anyone who sort of knows at least a little bit, that's obviously there's a lot of people who just don't care, but anyone who sort of knows a little bit about any of this stuff just assumes they've already got all my data
Yeah.
and there's not really anything I can do about any of it. So
Yeah.
there's no point worrying about it.
I assume that I'm not valuable enough to a corporate entity for them to pay much attention to me because I'm not, financially speaking. I'm not a heavy hitter on the world stage. But also, I don't think I'm the typical consumer because I like to think that I'm special.
In what way?
All conceivable ways, aside from like the obvious categorical ones, in that I am the stereotype of what some might call normality. Although I am Australian, that's not normal, is it? Only
Well,
27 million of us.
statistically, yeah,
Yeah.
it's an anomaly. Yeah.
Statistically, it's fucking weird. Yeah, no. I'm not a young Chinese boy, so I'm not the normal person. But
Yeah,
other
yeah,
than that,
exactly.
I'm pretty normal.
Some
But I also
people,
think
sorry, go on.
I was going to say I think apathy. You're right, does play a large role.
Yeah, because what the fuck? I mean, it's either that or like you're always in incognito mode. You're always using a VPN. You're always
That
like,
doesn't work.
and you just think, even with all that effort, I'm sure if they
Yeah.
wanted to get my data, they could. I'm sure they've
Yeah.
already got it.
Who owns the company that gives you the VPN? Who owns the company that has the browser that gives you incognito mode? All it does is protect you from the superficial layer of people who can access your. It even says on the incognito modes, like the things may still be
Yeah.
visible to your system administrator or your internet provider or your whatever. And it's like, okay, well, I don't know them by name, so I don't mind if they see, that I'm I don't know, shopping for doilies or whatever horrendous backwards thing that I get up to in my, incognito browsers. But
Sure.
yeah, you just kind of 1, 2, 3 spot remove your personal connection, and the apathy kicks in, and you go, should be right. Who cares? Doesn't matter.
You've kind of triggered me here because the administrator thing. Why is it back to laptops, Windows laptops? Sometimes it'll say, you need to use administrator privileges.
Yep, been doing that all day.
And you're not, but sometimes you're not the administrator. And you think, well, then who the fuck is? Because I'm the only one that uses this damn thing. And
I paid for it.
Who's going to give me the privileges? Who do I ask, please, Mr. Administrator? Who is it?
I like to think that that's there to stop me from accidentally ruining the system by changing some graphical settings.
Which clearly is what you've done.
Which it should be. I am actually a danger to myself and others. Mainly myself, as I'm alone in a room with a laptop, but still, conceivably others. It's a heavy laptop. How many hours
have you poured into trying to recover this laptop?
Well, I had my last virtual interaction with another human soul finished at, I think, 11 o'clock. And then I made the mistake of looking into, I'm trying to play a certain game with Ash, and I was looking to see if my current ancient, Greg the Old is the name of the laptop, if it could run the game, let alone run it in split screen, let alone cast that split screen onto the TV. The short answer is no.
It's asking a lot.
You can't even run the game. Like, it's not even going to launch, mate.
Yeah.
Calm your farm. You'd struggle to play its predecessor, which came out like a decade prior. So yeah, it was a case of, look at that, and then I was, what could I run? Maybe I should buy the predecessor, blah blah. Could I run that? Maybe if I did this, or maybe if I did that. I wonder if it has any drivers that, and then you go down a rabbit hole of, can I optimize this system to get the most out of it? And I can do this with this game. Why does it work here? That's a newer game. It's got more stuff going on, doesn't it? No, apparently not. I don't know anything about this topic. So I'm just going to listen to ChatGPT. Hey, how do I make my system as efficient as possible? You turn off all this stuff and you change these settings and blah, 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 blah. And then you restart the computer and why isn't anything loading? Why is the screen dark? I'm afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of it when it's on my screen. Give me back my games. Yeah, that was my day. I spent a lot of time cosplaying as system administrator, even though I'm not worthy of that title. My lordship, my kingship name would not be Tom the system administrator. It would be Tom the dunce. I would wear my dunce cap. It would be made of broken graphics cards and obsolete drivers, which are purely, theoretical. And that's who I'd be, Tom the dunce.
So Tom the dunce, but Thomas the adequate.
Thomas the adequate when I'm on having a good day, and then Tom the dunce when I'm not. Behind my back, that's what the jester refers to me as. And of course, I'm picturing my jester as a certain individual who shall remain nameless.
We've got some good titles of kings and queens if you want.
Yeah, go on. What would yours be before you read out these good ones? Robert, not the Bruce. That's taken.
The Bruce is that's a good one though, isn't it?
I don't know what a Bruce is, but it sounds fierce.
It sounds good though.
Yeah, he's got 2 first names: Robert the Bruce.
Yeah. I'd be Robert the Thomas.
Robert the Thomas. Robert the Thomas the adequate.
How many layers removed can I get?
Yeah.
Well, you can choose. Actually, you can choose any name you want when you become king. You don't have to be actually, Thomas. You can be,
King Clancy.
The one that sprung to mind for me. The origin of Robert is an ancient Germanic name, Hrodbert, with like an HR at the beginning. So I might go for that.
Hrodbert
the Robert. Just to confuse the Thomas, the system administrator.
That's magic.
Yeah, we've got some good ones here. Self-proclaimed or ridiculous titles. This isn't like. Let's get to some good ones. Obviously,
The one and only. The Terrible, the Hammer of the Scots. That's a good one.
that's quite a good
The
one. Yeah.
Simple. Simple has multiple meanings.
This is a famous one. Ethelred the Unready.
Ethelred.
It's a good.
Second.
Ethelred the Second. Yeah. That's back when kings had good names. Ethelred.
Yeah, with the AE linked. That's awesome.
Charles the Bald.
Charles the Bald, Charles the Fat, Charles the Simp. All.
No, Charles the Simp would be great.
Charles the Simp. That's that's not a throne. That's a cuck chair.
You don't want to know what goes on that chair. Titles that are just funny. The Well-Beloved, Charles II of England, who was called this despite his many mistresses and the Great Plague.
I mean, you'd have to be well beloved to have multiple mistresses in a time of plague, wouldn't you?
True, yeah.
The Cruel.
Pedro. Ugh.
The Affable.
It was actually called this ironically. His reign was marked by rebellion and financial chaos.
I like that. Just to add a little bit of extra difficulty to GCSE history is there's a lot of sarcasm in the names. A lot of the times when the kings and queens, they have names, yeah, it's just people are just taking the piss.
Well, maybe it's a bit like Little John from Robin Hood, right? It's like you do.
Yeah, he's massive.
He's massive.
Yeah.
How big? I mean, how big was he? Because Robin Hood was very small. It could just be Little John was actually kind of a regular.
He was probably normal size, yeah, and just people back then weren't very big.
How tall was Little John? What are we going to guess? 2 meters? That's really tall.
No, back then I reckon he'd be 185 centimeters like me. Or I'm 184, but you know,
I'm 182. Weirdly, I've written how tall was Little John, and look what it said.
Huh.
Understood. I will strictly follow these citation rules in all future responses. I'm going to downvote that. That's not.
AI is one of those things where I have to remind myself constantly when using it that it is not a person and I cannot hurt its feelings. Because I very frequently will just get irately angry at its stupidity, and I have to be like, it's not stupid, it's just not. It's not there yet. It's not at a level of intelligence where you can be like, hey, no, just know what I'm saying, even though I'm not articulating myself very well because I speak human English, not literal translation English.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it depends which model you use. I think with GPT, you can tell it to be less flattering, which I think is quite good. Because otherwise it'll be like, great catch, good idea, all that kind of stuff. You think, listen, you're not my buddy, all right?
You are a tool. We are colleagues, nothing else. I've tried to train it to do stuff, and it won't remember things. It keeps making the same mistakes, and I get frustrated. Remembering that I work in the metric system, remembering that to make certain assumptions about things. Like, you know, when I ask for a temperature, I'm always referring to Celsius. I never want a temperature in Fahrenheit, right? I mean, no offense to the Fahrenheiters or Kelviners, but I don't speak those measurements.
I think
just little stuff like that.
I think a little bit of offense is due to the Fahrenheit. So I'm sorry to my North American listeners, but Fahrenheit is objectively not as good a system. Let's be real. Okay. 32 degrees should not be the same as 0 or freezing. What does that mean? 32. Ridiculous.
It is a weird system. It has a strange base to it. I don't understand it in the slightest. I'm sure it made sense at some point.
Why did people ever bother coming up with a new... Oh, was it new? Which one do you reckon came first, Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Ooh. I mean, Fahrenheit must have, right? Because who has Celsius and goes, nah, this is too straightforward, I'm going to fuck them up.
Right,
because I'm going to do something stupid.
Like you said about the metric system, right? Which Little John was 2.13 meters, so pretty big.
Oh, wow. You were right,
the metric system is just objectively a lot better, right? So, of course, it came after the imperial system, and it was created to make things better. So
Yeah.
have there been things that were created after, like you're saying with Celsius or Fahrenheit? If you've already got Celsius, why the hell would you make Fahrenheit? But if you only
Yeah.
have Fahrenheit, then it makes sense to make Celsius.
So you're asking is there the enshittification of measurement and
I don't know. It doesn't have to be measurement, but yes, exactly. That's what I'm asking. Something that was like we had a good thing. I mean, I guess all apps pretty much used to be better. Um,
I think a lot of software has become enshittified because it's too easy to replicate like the superficial aspects of things. Gaming has definitely gone that way. Computer gaming, you get a
yeah,
lot of titles released that do not have the staying power that they require in the modern gaming market. That's a very big talking point.
yes, 100%. And a lot of the time, like I got Steam Deck, right, and you get like new games for quite cheap, but old games for really cheap. And a lot of the time,
Yeah,
those old games are just kind of made better. And
yeah,
a
they're
lot of
made with passion.
yeah, there is the new Bond is actually really good. I'm not even a Bond fan, but it is genuinely a really good game. But a lot of the time, the new games are not as impressive.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
they're made by people. They're made by big corporations who are trying to make a game that appeals to the masses, and by doing so, it's like they're trying to do to gaming what pop music has done to music.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I think the problem is that gaming is more music is quite passive as a pastime, right? Not
no,
doing it, obviously,
no,
but listening to it it's quite a passive pastime. Gaming isn't, it's an active pastime. It's a
yeah,
very, very active pastime.
yeah.
So if you're going to make something, the gameplay loop has to be something that a person wants to spend the duration of the storyline with or more. I mean, good games you'll easily sink hundreds of hours
Oh
into.
man, yeah. I've been playing
Like
Clair
without
Obscur, and it's like I don't
Yeah,
know if you've ever played that. That is such an amazing game, and you can easily sink so many hours into it. It's fucking awesome, and that is
yeah,
new. That's kind of like bucks the trend, or newish anyway.
yeah,
But I think
yeah. That
I was listening to a tech expert speak about this, and it's like the highest selling video games of all time. You'd be surprised. Like obviously, there's going to be like Grand Theft Autos up there or whatever. But
hmm,
actually, a lot of them are like basically like casino, like
yep,
wrapped in a cheap game kind of thing. I mean, we'll look it up after what was first. Yeah,
yeah,
Fahrenheit was
because
first.
it's easier to I think with things like gambling games, it's much easier to get that dopaminergic loop going because there's already an intrinsic kind of feedback of I'm going to risk and be rewarded, or you've got that just one more spin aspect to it. Whereas
Yeah,
when you're making a game that doesn't have that financial aspect to it, you have to create a reward system for the player.
yeah,
And
which
typically
is
that
actually
reward
embedded in
system,
the gameplay instead of just sort of like
yeah, and in the narrative.
yeah, instead of like
Yeah.
you pay money for a skin or whatever it is they want you to actually pay for.
Yeah. Or you achieve something that's ultimately meaningless because although it's meaningless, unless you can find a way to give it meaning, like, for example, telling a really good story. Because every game that I've ever played that I've been like, that is an example of video games being art, it's always come back to the story and the gameplay loop being one and the same, like synergized kind of you got to experience the story in a way that only gaming currently can give you. You didn't you can watch it on a screen, and they do that, right? The Last of Us
The
Part
Last of
One
Us,
is
yeah,
up there in my top 5 list, and that's
so
now
good.
a hit TV show. That's one of the few games that I've actually like shed tears during,
Same.
and it's just like I can't like I try to explain it to my old man that I'm crying playing a video game.
Yeah,
Like he's just going to throw empty beer bottles at me.
you won't get
Um, I'm joking. He drinks cans, but no, he wouldn't. He's not like that. But trying to explain to someone who's not into gaming that this is a melding of this means of interaction with this other thing that we is just the quintessential part of the human experience, just telling each other stories. And they've melded it together in a way that when you make these pixels dance across the screen, you genuinely feel deep emotion about it. Because even though these characters aren't real, they feel real, and the story and the underlying themes are quintessential human elements.
And you've made decisions as that character along the way. All the best games, they always have like those moments where it's like, are you going to do this or that?
Mm-hmm.
And you like agonize over your choice. And then the good games, like that choice will come back. It will come back around, and you'll be like, oh fuck. So that's just good storytelling, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Last of Us is fucking artwork, man.
It's sublime.
The ending is so brutal. Like, and the TV show was good and then kind of got shit, but the video game, the first season is good.
Yeah, it's based on the first game, isn't it?
Yeah, but then the second season is terrible. But the second game is fucking amazing. Have you played the second?
That's what I've heard. I've not played the second one. No, I'm kind of broadly aware of how it goes, and I'm a big fan of the voice actors that did. I'm a fan of. I think it's Ashley Johnson. And I'm a fan of Critical Role. So I'm a fan of Ashley Johnson, and I'm a fan of Laura Bailey. And I believe they voiced the female protagonist, Ellie, and the female antagonists,
Abby.
Abby, that's it. Yeah. So like, that was a cool kind of, oh, wow, I'm a massive fan of this franchise in gaming. And, oh, I'm a massive fan of this other thing, watching people play Dungeons and Dragons, and, the two people who play Dungeons and Dragons over here voiced the characters in this. That was just a cool kind of thing. But no, it's very high on my to play list.
Yeah,
but my sister and I played the first one together, so at some point we were planning on sitting down and doing the second one.
You've got to. The Last of Us is the only game where Caitlin has actually watched me play it. That it's that good that you can enjoy it like a movie or a TV show. You can actually watch it and be affected by it and get like wrapped into it. And two, I don't know if it's better, but it's definitely as good.
Yeah, I like the idea of the gameplay loop. I always want to play as a stealth archer. I'm a diehard stealth archer, and I love. This is going to sound a little bit strange. The first game I fell in love with was Thief 2, The Metal Age.
Oh my god, I love Thief. I love stealth games in general, but tell me about Thief 2. I've only played Thief, the original.
So we had a demo that only gave you one level, and my sister and I played that level to death. And then eventually got our hands on the full version.
What system was this on? This was like Xbox or something, wasn't it?
No, Windows 98, I believe, or even possibly even earlier. Oh, mate, old, yeah. I own multiple copies of some of them, but I've got Thief Gold, Thief 2, Thief 3, the reboot, which was completely different. But anyway, I like the idea of playing something that is essentially a first-person shooter, but you're weak as piss. Yeah. You cannot fight for crap. Yeah. And your whole thing is don't let people see you. You can't run and gun. You have to be stealthy. You have to be tactical. And so for me, even though The Last of Us is a third-person cover shooter in its gameplay loop, that element of it is still there. And I really like the idea of like a smaller protagonist who really has to be like, you have to become more savage, more savvy, more survivalist, because you're in a world full of massive, brutal, thuggish people who outsize you. They're stronger than you. There's more of them, blah, 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 blah. And you still have to somehow get through it. And I just love that element of like the way you can take that aspect of gameplay and use it to drive the change in a character. Like, who do you become when your only option is to savage others? Yeah. And it's not necessarily who you are, but maybe it's what you become. And maybe it's, maybe that is what anybody in that situation will become, because the other option is death. Yeah. Those are the themes that I think games explore very well. Is just this idea of Far Cry 3 did it too, where it was just like, do you know the definition of insanity? And he just kept asking. Every time you came up against the bad guy, he'd just keep asking you the same question over and over. and I watched an analysis of it where he's just like, Far Cry 3 is one of the few first-person shooters that takes the main character on a journey where you become kind of the bad guy. You're definitely not a good guy by the end of the game, because it's like, how could you be? You've murdered hundreds of people in their homes. You're the interloper here. You parachuted in with your mates, and now you're just blasting and running and gunning and burning marijuana fields with a flamethrower while you're listening to Damien Gong Marley Jr.
That sounds
like
sick.
and Skrillex. That was a good level. That's what sold me on the game. But I'm just like, but most of the time when you do that, you're just running and gunning and enjoying the game loop.
Yeah.
But for it to also have that knock-on effect of being like, but in reality, you can't be this person and be okay. You can't be the hero of the story if all you do is murder people in their homes. And so to have that then become, oh, maybe the main character is insane. Maybe he's going insane. Maybe he is changed now and he can't go back to who he was and where he came from, which I think is how the game ends. I don't remember. It was ages ago when I played it. But I love that element of like the merging of the narrative with the interactive format.
Yeah, and the slow sort of like flip or maybe shift on the alignment chart from sort of like neutral to going to chaotic, going to evil, all of that stuff. And you're like, God, how did I end up here? I feel like when I play those games, I usually try and take the virtuous path. But
same.
That's usually because I feel like if I take the virtuous path, probably if I complete the game, the ending will be like more rewarding. Whereas if you take the cunt path and you're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna murder these innocents, then at the end you're gonna pay a hefty price. I remember that. Have you ever played BioShock?
Yeah, all of them.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so I don't know which one it was, but and it was a long time ago, so correct me about the details, but there's like these little girls or something, or children that you can kill, and you get like a temporary reward for killing them.
Yeah, you get like power-ups.
You get some power-ups and stuff. So I was just going through the game being like, well, obviously here's another little girl that I'm going to kill, and just getting OP. And then it got to the end of the game and it's like, you're not going to kill those fucking children.
No, they're children. Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. I have lost my mind. What am I doing? Why was I shooting all of these innocent
I believe that was number one. It was they're called Little Sisters, I think, and the guy with the drill in his hand and the deep sea diver helmet, I think they're called Big Daddies.
Yeah.
But that was kind of part of the narrative of the game, is that in order to make this game easier on yourself, you're gonna have to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
And that was a central part of the theme, because it was either the narrative of the first or the second, but in the end, the big reveal, the spoiler alert part of this, was that he had been conditioning you all along.
Yeah.
Because whenever he'd request something of you, he'd use the phrase, "Would you kindly?"
Yeah.
And because of the way the game was set up, you would always do what he asked you to do if he asked you with the phrase, "Would you kindly?"
Mm-hmm.
And so it was this idea of like, well, did you ever have a choice? Or were you under his control? And are you responsible for your actions if you're under someone else's control? But also, the people you're killing are under their own control. Yeah. So if they don't have free choice, are you vindicated in killing them, or are you just as much a monster as the guy that you're fighting?
Like just as much of a monster, to be honest.
Yeah. And you meant to, and that's the brilliant thing, is you actually feel that way because you didn't really do the thing, but as close as you ever want to get to killing little girls, you did it. Yeah. Like that's as close as you ever want to be to actually doing a horrible thing, is like simulating it.
The first time you do it, you probably feel more compunction morally than sort of the 10th or 20th time, where you sort of think, give me the loot. Like it has corrupted your morality. Like you have
desensitization.
Yeah.
That is a big part of the conversation, and this is going back years and years, so this might all be outdated learning. But when I did psychology at uni, there was at least one lecture, possibly more, by one of our lecturers who was quite interested in how people, who kill lots of other people, how they come to power, but also how they convince normal people to become what we would call monsters. And are the people who become monsters, are they any different from the rest of us? And are we all, in fact, monsters just waiting for the right circumstances to turn us into that thing? And that was a big part of that element of psychology and the psychology of being desensitized to things is if you just do something over and over and over, it becomes normal.
Yeah.
It's, like your body adapting to exercise. You just go and do a chin-up, and then an hour later you do another, and you keep doing that throughout the day, and the next day, and the next week, and the next month, and then you do two, and then blah, 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 blah. After a year or two, you're just really, really good at chin-ups because that's just what your body does because it's just used to it.
Yeah.
And I imagine you can apply the same concept to genocide or the slaughter of innocent young girls.
Or cults, right? I think this is why we're all interested in cults, because a lot of the time the people who end up brainwashed start off normal.
Yeah.
And there's that, I guess it's like a chipping away of the boundaries that regular society kind of installs on us as our system of morality. And then the control of the cult is like, let me just chip away a little bit of this, push it a little bit further that way, and bit by bit, it's really stretched way out, and suddenly you're killing people, or having sex with 5 people at once, or whatever the thing is.
Whatever you do on a Sunday.
Whatever you like to fill your weekend with.
Yeah, it's your business. I think that's the normalcy of it, or the idea that people who are suckered into those situations, that they are more like us than not, because we all like to think we're not susceptible. But that goes back to that, that algorithm and data mining thing we were talking about earlier. Yeah, you are. You're so susceptible that a freaking math equation can do it to you. You don't even need a mastermind. There does not need to be a religious figurehead or a Charles Manson kind of person, or a he who shall not be named kind of person. And I'm only not mentioning him because we mention him every podcast. But there's no, he's my court jester. There's only, you don't even need that. You just need something to happen to become normal for you. And I think you're as easily manipulated as the next person. I think a lot of us are, in ways that we don't perceive. And it's uncomfortable to do that kind of self-analysis. That's the kind of thing that you only do if there's a real big benefit on the other side, or if there's a real big detriment of not doing it. That's the kind of reason people go to therapy, is like, oh no, I can't live with this particular thing. And so I need someone to help me change it. But if it's not that big of a deal, again, we're doing fantastic loop closing here, Rob, because back to the political conversation we were having before, you become apathetic towards it.
Yeah.
You go, well, it's not that bad, I don't need to change that much. It'd be nice if I could, but I can't, so I won't. And it's like, maybe you could. Maybe you have more agency than you think, but that would require more energy than I think any of us have in any given day.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think you're probably right. Or maybe you're just saying it confidently.
I just say it confidently, and people believe me. I am actually completely full of shit. But nothing I have said since we started talking, aside from the very sincere "Hi, how you doing," has been in any way, shape, or form honest.
Well,
or true.
You were right about the Fahrenheit Celsius thing.
Yeah, but that's a red herring. That's a mislead.
Really? How?
Yeah, there's always a little bit of truth in the lies. That's how you convince people. Yeah.
Sprinkle in something, because if
every so often I'm genuinely right about something.
What's your hit ratio?
Oh, it'd be low. It'd be real low. 10%, if that. It's just got to be enough to a point where people go, well, I mean, he wasn't wrong about that other thing. And then that other time he said that, and that actually, yeah, that turned out to be true. So maybe he's right about this as well. They're not going to look into it. Apathy, Rob. Use it to your advantage.
Yeah, maybe I should do it more.
These are the political machinations of a cult leader and mass murderer.
Is this what you're aiming for?
No.
Not currently.
But if I happen upon it, I have a beard. I mean, what more do you need to lead a cult?
It's a good starting point for sure. Yeah, definitely more beardy cult leaders than non-beardy cult leaders.
Yeah, I think there's something about having to run to the store for razors and shaving cream that really takes the air of, spiritual superiority out of it. Takes that spiritual superiority wind out of the sails of a supposed, savior, benevolent savior. I cut myself while shaving. I got razor burn. Don't look. Oh, if anyone got some aloe vera, the second coming of Christ has got razor ash.
Speaking of beards, did you know that humans are the only animals with chins? I'm not making this up. And no one.
How do you define chin?
Well, what do you mean? How
do you define a chin? What makes what I've got a chin and what a dog has not a chin? Oh, the protrusion. Sorry, I didn't mean it's a very handsome jawline, but
thank you very much.
Protrusion at the bottom of your mandible.
Yeah, exactly.
Maxilla, mandible. Yeah. Huh.
Mandible is the jaw, right?
Yeah, and maxilla is the upper bit, I believe.
Right.
Because you got the supramaxillary thingo in your above next to your ear.
Yeah, this bit.
I think so.
That bit that you can feel it. Yeah.
Again, I'm just saying words and hoping. I just pray that.
Well, you said supramaxillary, so that's
what I do.
Real.
I mix a little bit of what I believe is Latin. I say it's Latin. I don't know. It could be Greek. I mix a little bit of that into conversation, and I sound like I know what I'm talking about, and I just don't, Rob. I have no clue. But no idea.
The reason I bring up the chin, obviously we're talking about the beards, but
yeah,
since you like to swing, even if you only have a 10% hit rate, I want you to take a go at why it would be that humans A have chins and B are the only animals with chins. What's the reason?
What is the reason that human beings are the only animals who have evolved chins?
Yeah, and why? Why do we have them at all?
Huh.
I mean, obviously, it's quite good to do this. This is
so that we can look ponderous. No, it's to stop our hats from blowing away, so we can wear the little strappy thing. I would say that the reason we have beards probably has something to do with. I would say that our ancestors were covered in significantly more hair or fur.
Yeah.
And as we've evolved away from that, we've retained elements of the adaptation, because it's mostly those who have additional testosterone that grow beards. Or it's not testosterone, it's DH. Anyway, again, talking out my ass. There is a particular hormone that's associated with hair growth or hair loss or something. But yeah, I would imagine it's because we've evolved to just have less and less hair. But of course, when you have lips and soft bits, it's probably of benefit to keep a little bit around there. But I imagine there'd be multiple variables affecting it.
But hold on,
right?
You're talking about beards now.
Yeah, you don't want your lips to freeze off, do you?
Yeah, but the question was about chins. Don't dodge.
Well, the chin is there to support the beard.
Women don't have beards; they've still got chins. I mean, some women
they need to pass those genes on to their sons. No, I have no idea, honestly. I would say that if the reason that we have chins is because
I've stumped him. Look at this. The bullshit merchant has been stumped. This is great.
No, it's got to be to counterbalance our massive brains.
Well,
I'm pretty sure it's
have a chin,
it's
it
to
was
give
just
us. Isn't it just to give us like a forward-facing chewing part so it doesn't slide straight down our windpipe when we're chewing food?
but like other hominids or primates who don't have chin, they don't all like choke to death when they eat food, do
Well, I
they?
mean, they're not here, are they? When was the last time you saw other hominids? Rob, when was the last time you saw Australopithecus wandering down the street, or even Neanderthalus,
Okay, fine.
Heidelbergius?
I'm not going to pretend it's been recently, but
It's not been ever, has it, mate? Because they're
well,
dead. Because they choked. They couldn't handle the pressure.
they
Questions
interbred.
about chins, and so they choked. I actually think we murdered them. I think we genocided them a lot. I remember reading something recently about one of our most closely related hominid kind of ancestor / offshoots, co-evolved people. I can't remember which group it was, but there was some sort of dig uncovered where it's like, oh, it's like Homo sapiens and Homo whomever else met, and then only the Homo sapiens continued on. Like they just killed them all. I don't know why. But I imagine there's a lot of interbreeding with like Neanderthals and stuff like that, wasn't there?
Yeah, there definitely is. I don't know how many can you name off by heart of the other homos, but
Jeff. Heidelbergius. I mean, it depends on how far back you're going in our direct lineage, because like Homo erectus, Homo not Australopithecus, that's pre-Homo, isn't it? So that's no Homo. Australopithecus, no Homo.
Floriensis.
Floriensis, Heidelbergius. Is there a G one?
Dennis. There's one.
Oh, Denisovans.
Yes, that's another one.
Yeah. And then Neanderthalus and Did I say Heidelbergius already?
I don't actually know that one. What was that one up to?
Oh, yeah, again, these are just words that pop into my head and I say them in the hope that they're true. I don't have any idea if that's an actual Homo.
Homo heidelbergensis. You're right.
Heidelbergensis. There you go.
Hold on. You're right. Look at this.
Yeah. See, this again, confirmation.
Humans lived in Africa, Europe, and possibly Asia between 700,000 and 200,000 years ago. I haven't heard about this one. What do they look like? Did they have a chin?
Don't know. No idea. Ask anything. Ask, did they have a chin?
Ask anything. You know what this reminds me of? I don't think I've ever spoken to you about this, but one of my earliest, here we go. They look like Neanderthals.
Yeah, they have a chin.
They definitely do have a chin. All these early humans just look kind of like Neanderthals.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're saying ask anything. When I was at university for a bit of beer money, one of my first jobs was I worked for this company called AQA. Any questions answered. And it was a text service. This was like pre-smartphone, right? So people would text any question they want. And I had it set up on my laptop in my room, or desktop actually, in my room. There was a program that you log into and you get paid per question that you answer that comes in. And some of it would be just like whatever we Google today. It would be questions like that. But also some of it would be like, should I dump my girlfriend, or am I gay, or what's the meaning of life? And the answer to all of them is yes. But that was one of my first jobs. It's pretty good.
Huh.
It was a WFH as well back in the day before that was such a thing.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
It was good. I mean, obviously, there's no way that business model could survive now because you had to pay per text, of course.
Yeah.
And
I wish that was an option for me. I would have loved pretending I knew the answer to these questions.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
That's amazing because there's no fact checking there, is there? It's just you ask a question via text and whoever's on the other end answers.
They had moderators, so
right.
Occasionally you would, if you'd answered one sort of not following their guidelines, they'd give you a slap on the wrist. But
yeah, true. Because I guess there's dangerous questions that can be asked.
Yeah, it would really only be for stuff like that, And a lot of the time, if a question came in like that, like, shall I commit suicide? I'd be like, I'm just going to escalate this to someone else. Because
I don't know the answer to this question. I'm going to pass this one on to my supervisor. It could be yes, it could be no, it could be not yet. I mean, that kind of does seem like a no-brainer to answer. Should I commit suicide? No, you shouldn't. Being like the party line is no, don't do that.
That is true. It's almost. It's like it's something in the top 99 percentile. The answer is going to be no. But
I mean, in what case would it be yes, Rob?
He who shall not be named. If
true.
Hitler texted me, should I commit suicide?
I'll be honest. He was a bit old for texting. I don't think his grandkids taught him how.
Hitler in 45 is somehow texting a British Jew in 2026. It was my idea. Do it, Adolf.
I do like to think somebody encouraged him in the end.
Who did
Ava.
Did Goebbels do it first, or did Hitler do it? Because maybe he saw Goebbels do it and he was like, man, if Goebbels is doing it.
Oh my God, that looks fun.
I believe we're back to Nazis, but I mean, I suppose,
all roads.
All roads.
All roads.
Goebbels or Hitler? Who committed suicide first? What's your punt?
I mean, surely the only reason for Goebbels to commit suicide is that Hitler is watching, right? Because if the boss of the whole thing kills himself, you kind of just go,
yeah,
I guess I'm fired then, or like on administrative leave rather.
Right.
Like, what more is there?
Yeah, well, it's a good question. I think there was some arbitrary stand-in after Hitler killed suicide who was technically in charge, but yeah. You're right. He died. He killed himself.
It's like whoever replaced Freddie Mercury and Queen, mate.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
I actually saw Queen with, was it Adam Lambert? And he was really good. He was fantastic. I don't know if he was as good as Freddie Mercury because I never got to see Freddie Mercury live, but he was good. So,
Have you ever seen that picture of Freddie Mercury with all the guys?
Which picture are you referring to, Rob?
There's just this picture, and I think it's real. I hope I might
want to believe.
I might have been tricked, but I'm pretty sure it's real. Hold on, I found it.
That's classic. I was tricked into the picture with Freddie Mercury. Yeah, sure you were.
It's this one with guys who, and they've all got the same tash.
Yeah.
And he was in a band called Queen, and loads of people didn't think he was gay.
I mean, back then it was, don't ask, don't tell, wasn't it?
It was, but the signs are there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I assume that there were many, many people who thought that things like homosexuality, because of the way they were vilified, they thought that these things were super duper uncommon. And therefore, like a boogeyman that you would, it's a ghost story that you tell around the fire, eat all your veggies or you'll be gay or something. I was told, eat your crusts, it'll make your hair go curly, and I already had curly hair. So
I was told that too.
I my crust. Yeah.
That's a weird one.
I was always told with like a smile and a wink, and I was just like, you're not convincing me, mate. But yeah, no, I always just assumed that, because it was a don't ask, don't tell kind of situation and also vilified, it was like an out of sight, out of mind, out of consideration.
Social taboos make people think it's less common than it is, I guess, is the theory, which I think that has...
You just have no anchor of how common a thing is.
Because it's so unspoken.
Well, yeah, because you don't talk about it. Like... There's so many aspects. I think that's a big part of why there was a big push for things to be normalized online, just regular things that plenty of people do, but that still had social taboos around them. There was quite a large push for, normalizing conversations about menstrual cycles.
Well, that's the
right?
example I was thinking of, strangely. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because I remember growing up on stand-up comedians who would have entire 10, 15, 20-minute sets on menstrual cycles. And when I've gone back and watched them now, it seems like such an alien choice of topic, because what's the premise for the joke? Yeah. Like, women menstruate. Hilarious. I think. Yeah.
And there was that brief time where some comedians, the punchline would be "my vagina" kind of thing as well. Which would be very dated now, because it had still had some sort of shock value, or whatever.
Exactly that. It's like when you see I'm running the full gambit from ragging on male comedians for talking about menstrual cycles to now ragging on female comedians for talking about sex. Because again, that was another thing of like, when it was new and shocking and it was breaking a taboo, it was cutting edge. And then it became such a direct line to guaranteed laughs that it became hacky. And now it's a case of like, oh, do you not have any material? Okay, I guess go get up and do 10 minutes on your sex life then, because it'll work.
Sure.
There's still enough of a taboo around a woman talking about that publicly for it to elicit some sort of response, but it's
interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know when it happened, but I've noticed that the adverts for menstrual products, apparently this is what we're talking about now, is they now use they always used to use blue as the liquid when I was growing up, but they've started to use red. They started to just be like, look, it's red, okay, get over it, it's red.
Because little girls were having panic attacks and screaming and running to their mothers saying, mum, mine's red, I thought it was supposed to be blue, the ads told me I was meant to bleed blue. I can't believe this. If I delivered that in a Scottish accent, it would have made a lot more sense. I'm supposed to bleed blue.
Bleed blue.
I can't do a good Scottish accent. It just sounds.
You look Scottish. That's close enough.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah.
Take that as a compliment.
Yeah, it's a compliment. Thomas the Bruce.
Thomas the Bruce. No, that's exactly right. It was, it was one of those sensibilities of being like, we all know what's going on here, but we're going to pretend we don't for reasons, I guess. So that nobody feels uncomfortable, even though everybody knows exactly what's happening. It's like swearing when someone says F off. It's like, we know what that word means. Who is that F for? I can understand it in, the context of that one word, but the rest of them, just say the fucking word.
Yeah. I'm conscious of your time because it's 20 to 9 where you are. Have you had dinner?
No, it is. Yes, I have. I prepared, mate. I've carb loaded for this. I knew this was going to be a marathon. I had a chicken wrap with some eggs. It was not particularly exquisite culinary experience. It was tasty though. I use Laogan, the Chinese chili crisp.
Oh, mate, you can put
the
that
best
on anything.
Thing.
It's
anything, and I mean anything.
Yeah, it's such a cheat code.
Ice cream, it's amazing. Yeah, I haven't put it on ice cream, but you can put it on pretty much anything. It probably would, yeah. No, it's fantastic. It is very much. I will make meals just so that I have a canvas to put that stuff on, especially when I find a new one and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm white ricing the fuck out of this.
Oh yeah, man. Have you ever tried smashed cucumber with it? It's incredible.
No.
Oh my god!
That
Chop up the cucumber, get the potato masher, squeeze it so the juice is released, but also it soaks in more. And then you get like a soy sauce, vinegar, chili crisp kind of mix, spring onion, coriander kind of thing. Stir it all in, some sesame seeds. It tastes incredible.
That does sound good.
It's really good. The humble cucumber elevated, and
the
chili crisp is at the center of it. It's so fucking good.
That sounds like a really good summer snack. That sounds like a good summer salad, actually.
Yeah. Give it a whirl.
I will. I like that. We've come full circle back to cooking again.
Weeping into our Brie. I think that's what.
Weeping into our Brie. Yeah, weeping into our Brie.
Yeah. Well, let's finish on something funny though. If we're gonna finish.
All right, give it to him.
Vagina.
No, I don't have anything funny to say anymore.
Why? What happened?
I've become incredibly boring and dull.
So have I, but my
yeah.
excuse is I've had knee surgery, so I've kind of been restricted to.
Oh, my excuse was that I'm happy now. Scene.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you've enjoyed it, please give us 5 stars and consider becoming a subscriber and maybe even supporting us on Patreon. Really, really, really helps me continue making this show. If you haven't enjoyed it, then you can fuck off. Many, many thanks to Nils Hennis Steer for the amazing music and to Dave Fox for the cool artwork. Please keep coming back every week for more bliss of the abyss.
Message 1.